Turning to your other top stories this morning, the Iowa Attorney General's office says Polk County Sheriff's deputies were legally justified in the deadly shooting of Austin Mark during a standoff last month in Johnston. Investigators say deputies were serving a felony warrant and a mental health pickup order when Mark barricaded himself inside a garage. Authorities say Mark opened fire, hurting one deputy and hitting another deputy's ballistic shield. Deputies returned fire, and investigators say a deputy shot Mark after he came out of the garage and continued to ignore commands. Libertarian congressional candidate Mark Battaglia is asking a Polk County judge to restore his name to Iowa's November ballot. The state objection panel voted last month to remove Battaglia from the ballot, saying Marco Battaglia isn't his legal name. He argues Iowa law does allow candidates to choose the name that appears on the ballot and is seeking a quick court ruling before overseas ballots are finalized.
In an update this morning, the Starbucks drive-in over in Nevada says the restaurant's building is a total loss after a fire from earlier this week. But as Local 5's Brandon Wynn shows us this morning, neighbors are not letting this iconic business just face recovery alone.
A storm rolled in today over Starbucks fast food drive-in. Not the first storm it's faced this week.
I was just hoping it was something small, and it wasn't at all. So it was very emotional.
The owner of Starbucks, Ann Sayer, was devastated when she heard that her 70-year-old business had caught fire.
It's the heart of our town. We've had people from Alabama to New York to Washington all reach out and say we've been there when we come back to visit.
Nevada Mayor Ryan Condon grew up near Nevada, so he also knows what the loss means to the community.
All of a sudden I started getting phone calls that night saying Starbucks was on fire. Right away everybody really worried. How bad was it? Is it going to be open?
For Sayer, it's not the first storm she's faced recently. Owner and Sayer's wife Shelley Tiffany passed away last fall.
Really kind of hard, and it's overwhelming. And then when everybody stepped up like this, it just makes you want to cry.
The building was without insurance due to pending repairs and because the ownership was in the process of being transferred to Sayer after Tiffany's death. But after every storm comes the sun.
We're not going to let a random fire in June on a Tuesday ruin the history of our Starbucks in our town.
That's right.
Countless community members called to make sure Starbucks can have the sun shine on it one more time.
Makes you wish Shelley was still here with us to enjoy it, you know, the new building and everything when it gets built.
Brandon Wynn, Local 5 News.
In an update this morning, we now know the names of the two drivers killed in a wrong-way crash just outside of Webster City. Authorities say Joseph Kennedy from Alden was driving east in the westbound lanes of Highway 20 around noon Wednesday when his pickup hit another vehicle head-on. Kennedy died at the scene. The other driver, Aaron Gomez of Harlingen, Texas, was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. And traffic is moving again after a pedestrian was hit by a car in Des Moines South Side yesterday. It happened near Southeast 5th Street and East Watrous Avenue. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Part of East Watrous between Southeast 3rd and 5th Streets were temporarily closed while officers investigated.
It's now 7:38, and Iowa's hands-free law has been in effect since last summer, but prosecutors say that drivers still are not getting the message. In a Dubuque County courtroom this week, a judge sentenced a woman to 10 years in prison for vehicular homicide after investigators say she was on her phone when she struck and killed a man on Highway 61. State data shows more than 7,000 citations and nearly 6,000 warnings have been issued since January. But law enforcement says distracted driving is still a daily problem on Iowa roads.
It's not even just texting or calling. It's whole movies and football games are being played from their dashboard.
This message needs to be sent strongly to our community. Get off your phones. People's lives matter.
Officials say it is a culture change that will take some time, but warn the consequences of ignoring the law can be deadly.
With temperatures still in the 90s across Iowa, HVAC companies are seeing a surge in service calls. Technicians say extreme heat is increasing pressure on these air conditioning systems, leading to issues like clogged coils and dirty filters. That buildup forces units to work even harder to keep homes cool. Experts say air conditioners, they are built for hot weather like this, but regular maintenance is key to keeping them running efficiently.
Check your filter, make sure the filter's clean. That's first thing. And then make sure your thermostat batteries are good. Other than that, if it's still not keeping up, then call us.
They recommend changing low-efficiency filters every 1 to 3 months and high-efficiency filters every 6 to 12 months.
FEMA is now putting more than $22 million toward the flood recovery effort over in Rock Valley, Iowa. Officials say that this funding will help buy and demolish 123 homes damaged in last summer's historic flooding and left in unlivable condition, leading to a major disaster declaration. Now, under this plan, the city will purchase the homes and convert the land into open space to reduce future flood risk.
One of Iowa's summer staples is now hitting roadside stands across the metro. Grimes Sweet Corn says this year's crop is right on track for the July 4th rush, even after a cooler, wetter spring that delayed some growth in fields. The family-run operation has been around for more than 35 years, starting with just a small patch and hand-picked harvest before expanding to stands in grocery stores all across central Iowa.